I don't know, man. I think I just had a breakdown or something. I don't know what it was. The only reason I'm recording this and putting it on YouTube is because I don't feel like typing it out. So, and I have nowhere else to, send it. So I'm just gonna send it there. It's basically for you, and I don't care if anybody else hears it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care if a million people hear it. In fact, I hope they do. But hey, whatever. But I think I had a fucking breakdown today. I don't know, man. It started when I went. Most of the day was pretty good. I've been watching Breaking. I went through Breaking Bad again, and I just finished it up this afternoon. So I've been watching that all week, and everything was going good. And then I go to let the dog out, probably, I don't know, 4:35. No, probably closer to 4:30. Maybe it was about 5 o'clock. Whatever. Who cares? And when I go to let him out, I look down because I have the grocery lift, and the hole that's in the floor, I can see down the stair. I can see down at the bottom of the stairs. I see that the good folks downstairs went and got the mail today, and I see that I've got stuff sitting there, and I knew that I had bought Deadpool 2. That has been sitting in the mailbox for 3 days. Ain't no way I could physically go out there to get it, which is part of the problem. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just take it easy. So I go down there, I collect it, I sit on the porch, you know. Anyways, as I'm coming back up the stairs, now I've rested, I was rested, I was good. I started halfway up the stairs. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pause. I'm just gonna take a break and just, because I've been having trouble doing the stairs. Essentially, this all time. I talked about this, I think, in the last clip, but for the sake of this, I want to put it all together. So, like I said, I got halfway up the stairs, and I was like, okay, let me just pause for a minute. As I'm standing there, half in the stairwell, I breathe in deep. Maybe not like a full deep breath, but I breathe in. I'm not out of breath, which was good. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what if I wasn't out of breath? And I started thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, my heart started racing, and I started to get out of breath. And I'm like, I'm standing here. So, I don't know what it is. Now, it wasn't horrible. It was. I mean, I've had it when it's gone into like full-fledged attack. Like, I can't breathe at all. This was more, I can breathe. Why am I getting myself upset? And then I paused a minute, and probably not even a minute, probably a few seconds, caught my breath, and then I went up the rest of the stairs, put the baby gate back in front of the stairs, and then sat on the chair. And then the minute I stopped, it's like if I'm moving, I'm okay. The minute I stop, everything wants to catch up and be like, oh, now your heart's going to pound a mile a minute. It wasn't pounding a mile a minute before. I don't know. So then it starts again. Now keep in mind, this is like way down. This is like 0 to 1 on a scale of 10. I've had it where it was like 25, where it was like I actually thought I was going to die. This was like, it's barely even on the radar. But it's still one of those things where it's like, if I let myself dwell on it, I would have completely caused myself to have a panic attack. Because the way the panic attack started was that I had kind of blown up. I couldn't, I was breathing heavy. I couldn't take in a deep breath. And then I got thinking, oh my God, I can't take in a deep breath. And you go to try to take in one, and you're like, and you can't get the lungs full. And you're like, oh my God, I can't take a deep breath. And then you actually try to do it. It's like, fuck you, And that all kind of lingered together. So anyways, I was like, whatever. It was like a few seconds of just like, oh, like a little panic moment, and it was over. And like that wasn't so bad, because like I said, I had a couple even like last week that were just I can't even describe it. Between the heat, not being able to breathe, and then just not being able to take a deep breath, and then panicking over it. It's anyways. So I come upstairs, I get the dog, he's on the deck. I let him in, we come inside. I get him something to eat for dinner, and I was cooking sausage patties. And earlier in the day, I had made a potato salad. And I had these hamburger rolls. So I took out 2 hamburger rolls, took my sausage patties, put them on there. And they had this, they call it barbecue sauce. It's basically a red sauce that you get from like the Chinese, which is basically ketchup, honey, and some sugar, basically. Well, this doesn't have the honey in it. It's basically a sweet sugar that they call a barbecue sauce. And I usually put ketchup on it, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's use this little sauce. I had it from the other day, yesterday, whatever it was, when I ordered out. So I got the combo platter. And they give you a marinara sauce, they give you the barbecue sauce, and then they give you little ketchup packets. And I was like, you know what, let's use this shit up. Why not? I'm not going to use it any other way. So I poured some of that on there. I'm like, that's great. I then made some Kool-Aid. Well, actually, I had Kool-Aid pre-made, so I took it and put it in my jug, my whatever. And then I go to proceed to sit down, and when I do, it starts up again. And I'm like, what is this shit? But it wasn't like horribly. I can't express. I really, I don't know, man. I can't express what I'm trying to say, because it's like the thought is there, but it's not actually happening in real life. But the more I think about it, then real life starts to catch up with what I'm thinking of. It literally is a mind over matter. Anyways, I have my lunch. I had the potato salad. I had the 2 sausage patty buns. And all of a sudden, because now you gotta keep in mind, during all that, my chest got a little tight. Whatever, not like stroke or anything, or heart attack or anything. It just, I don't know, it just felt kind of weird. Not like painful or anything like that, just kind of like my lungs hurt, like when I tried to take in deep breath, because I took in a couple deep breaths, and it was like I kind of hurt myself, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I agitated my I don't know, I agitated my upper torso, I don't know, I did something. And as I was sitting there, I was like, I'm having trouble breathing. And if I sat there and thought about the fact, I would have had another panic attack, like out of nowhere. Not just, oh, I can't breathe, oh my god, I can't take in a deep breath. Yeah, that's cause for panic. That's even understandable. This was just, okay, I'm sitting here, I just had lunch, and oh my god, blah, 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 off the deep end. Right there, I couldn't take in a deep breath. Okay, whatever. And all of a sudden, I can't remember what I said. I literally talked to God. I was like, give me I can't remember, what the hell did I say? It was like, help me out here, Lord, or something like that. I don't remember what I said. All of a sudden, I started to, you know that feeling when you go from just being normal to, I'm literally going to uncontrollably sob, and you're like, you know, and like your lip is quivering, your eyes are watering, and it's just like, I got to that point. I don't know what it was. Even like, I'm sad about something, I'm upset about something. It was just, I'm sitting there and it's like, boom, I don't know where the fuck it came from. And of course, then I did the stupid thing, and I started watching Joe Biden and Meghan McCain give eulogy to John McCain, which both speeches were very good, by the way. As was W's, as was Obama. That was a good. They were good, but I don't want to get into that. And of course, that was like, and next thing you know, it's like now my nose is starting to get stuffed up, and I'm having hard. I don't want to say I'm having trouble breathing, but it was just another one of those little a breathing issue, you know. And I'm like, this one nostril starting to close up. It's like, can I breathe? And I kept taking breaths. I'm like, I can breathe. Because I always said, if I can breathe, I'm good. If I can breathe, I'm okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's like every single breath I've been conscious of lately. Especially a couple days ago when it was like 90 degrees in here. Or actually 90 degrees outside. Which meant it was at least 120 inside, if not more. Because, like I said, there's no airflow here. And it's not very good. So, sitting there and having every breath just be hot air is horrible. And then to have panic attacks and then just have like your lungs and chest hurt for whatever fucking reason. And again, no, it's not. It doesn't feel like what I think a stroke would feel like. So I don't think it's anything like that. It's just when I don't know, it's like if you start going, you start breathing really heavy, it's just your whole chest compresses and compacts, and it's like, I don't know. That's what it feels like. It feels more sore than it does like pain, if you get what I mean. Like agitated, not really sore. Sore's not even a good word either. Agitated, like I don't know, like if you just pounded your chest 2 or 3 times, and it was like, you know, one of those things. I don't want to. I just did, which was stupid. Thanks. But you know, if you like really like King Kong'd it, that's what it feels like. It's not like a major thing, but you had that little thing with the breathing, with the whole thing, and then the nostril, and it's all these little fucking things that add up to, holy shit, I'm gonna have a panic attack again. And then I finally get done with Meghan McCain's speech, and I was like, okay, I can't watch any more of this shit. It's just, she's all upset, Joe's all upset, it was getting me upset after I'd already been upset, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I went and watched some other stuff. And one of the things I watched was very animated. Somebody was kind of like yelling and screaming and thrusting around. Because I was watching YouTube, and that didn't help calm my nerves down. So it was just one of those things where all these little things came together to be like, yeah, remember death? It's right around the corner, asshole. I mean, that's basically what it was. It was one of those, you could die at any moment, and because you gotta understand, I have been freaking out. I had this image, and I was listening, I think it was either Joe or Megan. I think it may have been, I can't remember who it was. I had this fucking image, I swear to Christ, I don't know where it came from. It was like I was partly in my mother's coffin and I could see her, like, mangled skeletal corpse. I just had that image where it was like imagine if the side of the coffin was see-through and you got, like, right up in front of it. And, like, you could see what was going on inside. I don't know why I had that image. And I've been having these weird thoughts about death lately. Not like killing myself, but just death in general. Like, we're all gonna die, and you know, because, well, all my family's fucking dead. I mean, I am literally the only one left. Me and Dale T are literally the only ones left. And I got, like, a handful of cousins left. That's about it. And it's just one of those things where I got nothing. I literally have nothing. Even saying that, I started to, like, get... I don't know. Well, I mean, seriously, like, I honestly have nothing. I had, like, Christmas. I stopped putting lights up. There was no point in me putting stuff out. No point in me decorating for the dog. Because every time I decorate, then I gotta undecorate. And I was like, fuck that shit. I'll just leave it in the damn box. So I was like, no point in doing any of that stuff. There's no point in doing half the other stuff. Halloween, there's no point. And it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about all this stuff. I really don't know what the universe is trying to tell me, but I don't know, man. I'm just having a really fucking bad day. It's like I feel fine everything else. My heart doesn't hurt like physically, like I'm having a stroke or a heart attack or anything to that effect. It just, I don't know. There's something about the fact when I take a deep breath, it's like, no, you're not going to take a deep breath. And then I literally have to struggle sometimes to take a deep breath. I mean, I understand that I'm an overweight sea cow. Believe me, I understand all that shit. But, like, this just started coming on recently, and I don't like it. I understand I'm almost 42 years old, but that shouldn't matter. But again, I mean, there's how many obese 42-year-old people do you know? I could die at any fucking second. And that terrifies me. I'm sorry, it does. Like, people from church, oh yeah, you die and go to be with Jesus. That terrifies the fucking shit out of me. I'm sorry, it just does. It does. I understand, because it's just the whole permanent aspect of it. Like, the minute you die, you can't come back. Now, I understand people say, oh, Jesus is going to get you resurrection and raptures and bullshit. Okay, fine. But you're never coming back in the same capacity. Okay, if we come back to this earth, we're not coming back to look at porn and watch football and drink beer. Okay, it's like that shit's over. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, everything I enjoy is going to be for naught. Which, I mean, you could ask yourself, what's the point of enjoying it? But again, I would ask what's the point of not enjoying it, It's just, I know we're all gonna fucking die, and that terrifies me. It freaks me the fuck out. And this whole John McCain funeral thing came at like one of the worst times of my life that it could. I think he died because of me. Honest to God, I really do. I think the entire universe revolves around me. I honestly do. I'm not saying that in any weird way. Like, I couldn't watch any politics. Like, every time I go on YouTube, it's, oh, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. I think I can't look at that asshole anymore. I can't even stomach looking at his face. Like, you post pictures of him and shit, I can't even look at him anymore. The guy just... And then all the Christians, oh, he's so great, he's the greatest thing ever, God sent him, and blah, 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 blah. God also gave us death, too, so we need to keep that in mind. You want to talk about, Donald Trump being anointed by God? Well, again, so is fucking death. So is cancer. Give me a break. Doesn't mean they're humdingers in the moment. It's just, I don't know. And I understand, I'm supposed to have peace about this kind of stuff, but for some reason I'm not having peace right now. God does not give me peace anymore. I'm sorry, He just doesn't. I understand it as a born-again Christian, God, the concept of, is supposed to do that. Dude, I'm pushing 42. I'm going to be 42 in a few months. I am not going to live much fucking longer. And that fucking petrifies me. It irritates me too. It pisses me off. So there's a combination of fear and anger, which then gets me even more angry. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know where this shit's coming from. It is like I said, when I'm going up, if I'm coming up the stairs, I shouldn't have that. It should be while I'm coming up, okay, yes, am I breathing heavy coming up the stairs? Fine. I could deal with it. The fact is, I'm coming up the stairs, I'm not breathing heavy. It's when I stop moving and I rest that it all kind of kicks into gear and it's like, oh, now you're supposed to be heavy breathing. I'm like, I'm heavy breathing and then I can't breathe and I get panicked. I don't get that. Again, I could see if it was in the middle of the climb up the fucking stairs. I would get that. That would make sense to me because I'm exerting myself. But the minute I stop exerting myself and it all just kind of comes in like a flood, I don't get what I don't understand that. And the more I dwell on it, the worse it gets. Like, I literally have to think about other stuff. And I've used NXT as the exact example. I constantly, oh, it's Wednesday night, NXT's going to be on, or oh, tomorrow's Wednesday, or oh, gee, I haven't watched NXT this week. I had to think of NXT about 8 times this week. This week, I actually within the last 4 days, 8 different times. Today and a little bit of yesterday. I don't know. I mean, I can still go down the stairs. I can still go shopping. I can walk around the store. I don't understand. I don't know if maybe it's a pressure thing going from downstairs upstairs. I mean, that could be part of it too. It could be a pressure thing. I don't know. I'm wondering, shit, man. I'm wondering if that's not part of it. It's just like, because sometimes I get to the top of those stairs and it's hot as fuck up there. Like, I'll come out my kitchen door. It'll be nice and comfortable inside. Even without an AC. It's been nice, it's been comfortable. I then go outside, walk toward the deck, just past the stairs, go down to the porch. And all of a sudden I get hit with this heat. It's like, boom, right in my fucking face, like a bowling ball to the nuts. And it's like, so I'm wondering if it's not a pressure issue up here. I don't know what else. Although I did have kind of a problem going downstairs the other day. I don't know where it's coming from. I really don't know where it's coming from. And again, the more I dwell on it, the more I think about it, and the more I try to figure it out, like, why is this happening? It freaks me the fuck out because it's happening. It doesn't matter why it's happening, it is happening. And the fact that it is happening and I can't do anything about it scares me. I don't know. I don't think it doesn't feel like one of those you need a doctor. It doesn't feel like that. It's just one of those things where it's just mind over fucking matter, where I'm allowing myself to lose control and be like, holy shit. I don't know. It's a lot to deal with. Especially when you don't have a lot to deal with in general, but all of a sudden, yeah, breathing, yeah, that's something we need to deal with. And I don't even think it's like, just get some oxygen tanks and one of those things from the hospital where they, like Graham had oxygen. I don't think it even has anything to do with that. That probably could help. But it's more just, it's like my body physically stops when I think of it. Like, if I think of something, it goes to the forefront. It's almost like spooky action in a way. So, like, if I think of this, all of a sudden now I'm thinking of it. And all of a sudden my heart is like, oh, boom, 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 boom. It starts just pounding randomly for no fucking reason. And then I stop thinking about it, it calms down. I don't know. But like I said, it's scary. I don't know if you've ever had that experience. Like, I couldn't live in the desert, I tell you right now. I don't care how cold it gets at night. Living in fucking, like, Arizona and shit when it's like 120 degrees. Fuck that shit. I can barely make it 90 degree. In fact, I couldn't make it. I'll be honest with you, that fucking, what was it, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I'm surprised I didn't die. The heat was so freaking bad in here. And then it took all night for the bedroom and the apartment itself to cool down. Because it was cool outside, but there was no breeze, so it's kind of, it was again, I think it's a pressure issue. Because, they basically boarded me up. I mean, they basically took all the doors and they just put walls up there. Honest to God, I think it might be that. I think it might be a pressure issue. Either that or I'm having a fucking stroke and I don't realize it. And there are multiple little tiny ones. I mean, this isn't like California quake line or anything, but it's like, how the fuck do you know? I mean, I assume if my heart stopped, beating, about who the fuck's gonna find me? What, the dog gonna learn CPR? That'd be awesome, by the way, but whatever. I teach him how to use those fucking paddles. He runs over, pulls it with his teeth, grabs a little paddle, sticks it to my tit, then electrocutes me, sticks the other one on my nuts. Of course, knowing him, he'd probably pee on the fucking thing, short it out, and kill us both. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, like I said, I don't know. I really got nothing else to talk about. But yeah, like I said, the stupidest thing I did was go right into having that issue, and it wasn't even really an issue. It was just kind of like, I don't know. It was like two people standing in your yard. It was just like, okay, they're there. They're not really bothering me. I don't know why they're there, but that's kind of how it felt. It's like, okay, well, this happened. It's not really a big deal, but it happened. And then one thing culminated into another, and it's like, there you go. And I'm not really, I wish I could explain it. I've tried to explain it a few times, but I wish I could explain like the legit panic attacks, like the tens on the scale of 1 to 10. Because like when you physically are having a hard time taking a deep breath, and then you start panicking that you can't take a deep breath while you can't take a deep breath, and then there's hot air and maybe potentially pressure issues that are preventing you from actually breathing. I think it might be a physical thing and not just a mental thing too, because it's like, I think the physical is causing, well, physical issues with me, and those physical issues are then being transferred over into panic, which then makes nothing good. Everything goes to hell after that. Anyways, I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep this one short. I'm just tired of these fucking panic attacks. And I don't have a doctor, so it's like, fuck that shit. What I want to do, I want to pay somebody. I want to give somebody like $40 to make 2 phone calls for a dentist and a doctor. And then give them another $20 to make sure I get to the 2 appointments. Because once you get to the appointments, they'll reschedule more visits for you, like every 6 months or 4 months or whatever. So once you get on their system, you're good to go. It's just I need to get on somebody's system and be like, oh, But I'm thinking about paying somebody to make some phone calls for me, because I just can't deal with that shit. I can't deal with that. So actually, I'll be honest with you, it's the same feeling that I get when I think about making a phone call. Although my hands get all clammy, and it's like I start to panic. I was like, I think this panic thing is just, I don't know, but it's been around for a while. Like, I've always had a thing with the phone. I hate the phone. Even back when I was like a kid, I hated the phone. Like, to the point I wouldn't even order pizza. I didn't, like, again, if somebody called me, I didn't have a problem. If I had to call somebody else, I don't know, it's some weird ADD thing or something. I don't know what it is. But it's like my mind is just like, like you could literally put a trash bucket over my fucking head. That's how fucked up my mind is. Anyways, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm tired. Maybe I'll just roll over and take a nap. Maybe I'll roll over and not wake up. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You know? I'll tell you one thing. I'm getting a little tired of doing stuff like books and shit and like getting nothing for it. I'm sorry. These fuckers I gotta buy. These motherfuckers I gotta buy. You know? Whatever. I just feel like this is my last big hurrah. this whole Kindle publishing thing, because I got nothing else as far as that goes. Nobody seems to give a fuck, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, I keep asking God to do something unique in my life. Or not unique, that's not a good word. I want something good to happen. Like, something really good needs to happen. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of little good things that happen. Okay, like I did get an AC unit, but it cost me $330, you know. When the other one could still, God could have allowed the other one to still run for another couple weeks instead of fucking me over. You know, it's just one of those things. So, anyway, I'm just completely rambling, so, you know what, fuck you.